Okay, I think my program's working better now. There was a bug or didn't have enough memory or something was going on. Sorry, it is Friday night now. I'm going to try to get this posted. So here's a little screenshot of our website. You know where this is at. And this has been up there for a while. This page and the 5 links on this page you should read, and that was the Colorado State University website that's been up there for a week or more. And then here it says videos endocrine 1 through 19 we're going to do, but for exam 2 I said on my email that we're going to do from endocrine 1 through and including endocrine 8. And when I get this video made, I'm going to put this right here at this link. It's not an active link yet, but as soon as I upload it to YouTube, here, then I'll make this active. We're talking about endocrine glands. And what's going to be on exam 2? Everything we've had in class. Everything we've had in class. Pay attention to that video. Then these videos will show endocrine where they are located in the body. 8. And sometimes they're not exam distinct. 2. The next exam will have the rest of the endocrines. They might be so we're doing endocrine 1 through endocrine 8. Anything on the lectures, and then I know in lecture I said the material on E2 will be 80% of the most recent material and 20% of anything. So be aware of that. And on Monday you'll get your quiz 3 back, so you can see how you did there. Everybody did really pretty well. So, as soon as I make this video, it's going to go there. So now I'm going to get this out of the way and talk a little bit about what's going to be on the exam besides what we've had already in class. And what I'm doing is kind of highlighting the videos that you'll be looking at. Sorry. So, Endocrine 1, my video, not the Colorado State University, but mine, introduces endocrinology, right, the study of hormones, and then the concept of something that's endocrine versus something that's exocrine, and make sure you understand that. That's very fundamental. What's an exocrine substance? What's an endocrine substance? Then, in the video Endocrine 2, it really talks about most of the glands and then their locations, and I'm sure I make a point in the video that, sometimes glands you can cut out and hold them in your hand and weigh them and say this is this gland, like the pituitary or thyroid. But be aware there are some hormones made by very diffuse tissue, D-I-F-F-U-S-E, diffuse. It's kind of like spread out in a tissue, and for your life, you couldn't save your life if you had to dissect all the parts out of the cells that are lining some tissue. Okay, and then, don't forget about all what we've done in lecture about the types of hormones, the chemical structure, so forth and so on. Okay. So now you know what I'm doing here. This is Endocrine 3. This is like a little preview of the video that you should be watching. And it's basically on the pineal gland. And look at how that pineal gland has pine, P-I-N-E, at the beginning. Because when it was first discovered, it was described to be very similar to a pine cone. And obviously they got that into the name, pineal gland. But that's trivia, right? And one of its main compositions or products it makes and sends out to the body is melatonin. We've all heard maybe melatonin in an advertisement on TV. It's supposed to make you sleepy. It's high at night, low during the day. The reason it's high at night is because during the day, the light inhibits the release of melatonin. So then at dark, you take away the inhibition, and then melatonin flows freely out of the pineal gland, which is up in the brain, right on the midline. And that video would definitely talk about that. Okay, so now a little summary of 2 more of the videos that will be on exam 2. This title says Endocrine 4, Hypothalamus. Look at that, hypo, H-Y-P-O. Most of you, but maybe not all, know that that prefix means below. And so, lo and behold, this tissue, hypothalamus, is below the thalamus. There's a part in the brain called the thalamus, Thalamus, and the hypothalamus is below it. It's all neural tissue. It sends out quite a few hormones. They're all protein in nature, sometimes very short little amino acids long. Amino acids are the building block of proteins, of course, so that makes sense. And then endocrine 5, it refers to the pituitary gland and talks about the pituitary gland, which is below the hypothalamus. But it's got a name that's all by itself, pituitary gland. For domestic animals, you should know there's an anterior pituitary gland and a posterior pituitary gland. The video will show that. You should know what is made by the anterior pituitary gland and what is produced by the posterior pituitary gland. Okay, now I've got thyroid gland on the screen because the thyroid gland is referred to in the endocrine 6A and endocrine 6B videos. So that's really 2. I split up into A and B. And then endocrine 7 is parathyroid gland. Well, lo and behold, that's going to be kind of buried in the thyroid. And then endocrine 8 is all about calcium homeostasis. So it ends up being endocrine 6A, 6B, 7, and 8 are all something about the thyroid gland and parathyroid gland. And that endocrine 8 is going to be the last, but including 8 is going to be the last video that I'll look at to make the exam. And so I'm just going to end there and say I will see you on Monday. Geez, it's almost the end of February. That's going to be February 27th at 2:30, like we usually meet, and we'll chit-chat. If you were signed up for a show and tell and learn last Wednesday when I didn't have class because of the career fair, I think we need to reschedule those because since we have a test coming up Wednesday, I can't remember if there's 1 or 2 people already signed up for show and tell and learn on Monday. You guys, if you signed up for show and tell on Monday, the 27th, still do those. But then we'll be talking about the exam, answering any questions, handing back quiz 3, which has already been graded long ago, and it's up on the Brightspace website. So, okay, take care. Be good.